All right, welcome back to the Smoke and Mirrors podcast, your destination for the latest in streaming and movie news and reviews. We are your hosts, Rob, Dave, and Triz. So today, we're going to cover our first look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, the one done by Seth Rogen. Who else is joining the Penguin cast, and how Colin is faring in the suit once more. We also see what current superstar John Majors is up to next, what people are saying about the Mission Impossible 7 test screening, whether Chaz Stahelski is ready for another John Wick after 4, and the fate of Hulu's The Devil in the White City. Now let's start the show. Are we living there, big dogs? We good?
You're good, dog.
I was living on a high there, my friend. Nice little interview with the old, not the old, but the legendary Ken Taylor. Shit was good. I was like we wasn't doing this a year ago. You know what I mean? A year ago, we wasn't doing what we was doing then.
No, we were not.
Yeah.
So I was just liking the progression. I was liking the perspective. I'm here for it, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. No one else I love? The price.
How you going?
Yeah, good, man. Good. I was finally got back into Destiny 2. Never thought I would, but it's happening. It's just one of those things, man. It's the
How's the
abusive
grind
relationship.
going?
Horribly. I just went straight to PvP and destroyed everyone.
Jesus, still got it. That's like loosening up them little mouse fingers there. Pause.
Hey. But no, it was good. It was good. I was so happy. But no.
Talk to me.
Fabulous. But no. So moving into our trailers, like we mentioned before, we got our first teaser at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. So this looks like it's giving us that very much like Into the Spider-Verse type animation here as well. And we're getting, it seems like a lot younger with a, like, our quad here. Fucking, our group look like they're just teenagers. They want to fuck around. They want to have fun. And they're just trying to dodge all the responsibility. I don't know how I feel about it altogether. I think I need to see more. Because what I saw, I wasn't too impressed as well. So we got to see them like working together, trying to take out this watermelon with ninja stars and all this stuff and trying to cut them open. We got to see Splinter. We got to see April, which was a different depiction of April as well, which was interesting.
Yes,
and yeah, I mean,
she's black in the other cartoon, The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where Raph is the leader.
Yeah, but who watches that?
Everyone. They got a movie on Netflix and everything. The shit is fire. The shit that they're doing in that show, A1.
I'll tell you now, to me, it's dead. It ain't worth my time. No, what do you call it? No, that's fair enough.
That she's POC.
Mm.
How do you have a fat what's his face? A fat what's his face? April O'Neil. That makes no sense to me. She was out in the field.
It seems like this is the start of all of their journeys. Because it feels like what they did with this was actually make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles teenagers.
Teenagers, yeah.
Mm.
Which is like, I get that tone and whatnot.
Yeah.
She's plus size.
To hell with them.
What I didn't get from the trailer was her trying to be like that kind of like extremely plus size is the new standard of beauty. If they start shoving that down like people's throats, like as if that's the new sort of image for health, it's the wrong message. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially because it looks like it's geared towards kids.
I think that the turtles look like meth addicts.
Jeez.
Like that's what the stop motion does. I think there's going to be a whole bunch of things in this movie, because Splinter is not Master Splinter, right? Mentor Splinter.
Mm.
Because I didn't want to like create that little confusion there with using the term master. I'm not saying that it is, but that's what it looks like it is. There's no
the
way.
Turtles would, in theory, be his slaves. This is wild.
This is some
Who
next
trained the
level shit.
Splinter? Who trained the Splinter?
Master Yoshi.
Yeah.
Was he a student though?
No, he was never a student. He was Master Yoshi's pet.
He's pet.
So he's never been officially graded.
Yeah, but we're not saying Black Belt Splinter. It's Master Splinter.
I know, but
He's a master of what he does. I can be a bum and be a master of being a bum.
The bum master.
That is not an officiated title. It's just the one that we give him.
I'm putting that on my emails now. Tristan, master of the bums.
Pause.
That's
Call me.
I can be a master of drinking this bottle of water.
True.
Not an officiated title. You know what I mean? Like if you were master of the dojo.
Yeah, but I didn't say I was a black belt. I didn't say I needed to work my way up from white belt. I called myself a master.
But that's what you assume, though, when someone's teaching ninjutsu.
You know what happens when you
Is
assume?
it not? That doesn't win the argument. You know, fucking right, it does not.
Shit.
I'm in to see more because what I seen worked well with the stop motion. That's what I like. I like the fluidity and how kind of gonzo it kind of got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But story-wise, I think we're looking way too much into it, and it might not be that.
Maybe.
Like, what if April is like curvy? And she's not like, you know, the size 4 that April O'Neil was in the first one.
I think, like, as well as that, we're coming from a long history of consistent reboots of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. So
This
we're
is
just kind
From
of
the
jaded.
start.
What's it?
I said I've been here from the start.
Yeah.
What I need and what I was really disappointed with in the trailer was Raph was way too much like Mikey. Raph don't need to be like Mikey. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those O's need to be separate. Even their bandana colors were very, very similar.
Well, that's how originally it was, right? They were all red bandana. In the comics, all of them had red bandanas, so there was no differentiation. In the movie, they use the colors because of the what's his face and the different personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember those early comics because Justin used to collect them. I remember those early comics having the different colored eye masks as well.
Yeah,
Why were they wearing eye masks? That's what I didn't get. No one knew who the fuck they was. They was raised off the grid.
Yeah, but at the same time, they were ninja, right? So they're supposed to, in theory, be wearing a full face mask.
Yeah, which Raph does in some of the shits.
That'd be dangerous.
Yeah.
That would be dangerous.
That'd
Because
be
he'd
the
be a
violent
fucking
Raph.
tank ninja.
Yeah.
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 That's
But
why
yeah,
I kind of liked how they were in Out of the Shadows and all that shit. Because Raph was still like, you know, very standoffish, very wanted to do his solo thing. He was the Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. And there was always that kind of adversity between Leo and Raph,
Yeah.
which
Has to be.
to me sells Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Whereas in
Yeah.
Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raph is the leader. So they're always looking at new ways to like change up the Ninja Turtles, but for me the identities are there.
Yeah.
It's been baked into the characters. They just need to show it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would have liked to seen in this trailer is a little fighting.
Yeah.
They're ninjas. Show me them fighting. I don't need to see them fucking around every scene. I want to see them fighting, B.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Unless that's what they're holding off for now, because they know this is going to be
so.
fire shit.
Well, it looks like there's 30 villains in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Better be some fucking fighting.
Yeah.
True. But no. So we also got a trailer for Citadel as well, the new Richard Madden flick at Amazon. I didn't mind this at all, if I'm being honest. I thought this looked all right. I was talking to Dave about this beforehand, and I was like, why didn't they just have Richard Madden doing the Richard Madden normal accent? Why does he have to have like an American accent? It sounded real off to me. There was the one thing that threw me off was like the special agent suit at the end of the trailer when he jumps off that building. And as well as
They're not
that,
going to nail. There you go.
no, I was just gonna say this is Hancock, but with spies instead of superheroes.
It's Hancock. It's that fucking Jake Gyllenhaal in the train shit.
Chaos
It's
Theory.
I
No,
know which one you're talking about.
yeah, you know another one. The Loop.
Source code.
Source code Chaos Theory.
I was
what the
just
hell?
like, I was on that Splinter Cell, but yeah,
Yeah,
Source
yeah.
Code. There was the other SC. The SC. I think what I got from the trailer was this was the closest that we're going to get to Richard Madden possibly being Bond.
Mhm.
That's what I got from the trailer.
Very true. He's a bit old. He's a bit long in the tooth right now to actually play Bond.
Well, I like his look. I like this guy's look. Richard Madden, like, he has a look.
And he's got the chops behind it as well.
You know, if Richard Madden were to shave his head, he'd be a great Lex Luthor.
Like, he's got that smug face that, like, sometimes you just
Yeah.
want to, like,
You want to punch him, even
I just
as
want to
Rock
give him
Star,
one of
you wanna
these.
punch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean-
he hasn't sort of shown that he can be smarmy or something like that, but you know he could.
Yeah.
kind of in Eternals.
Yeah.
A little bit more empathetic in Eternals because of what was put upon him.
Mm.
But yeah, he's kind of there because he is like Superman of the group.
Yeah. When he's
Yeah.
showing off to
Hey.
his brothers in Thrones at the start as well. A little bit of a smug bastard there.
Yeah. But I'm not going to give this show 3. I'm giving this 1. It's got 1, the high conceptness of it. It needs to sell me in the first episode, otherwise, trash.
Yeah. Oh,
It's got the budget behind it. It's got the Russos attached to it. It's got the pedigree.
It's got the Amazon.
Yeah.
It's got the Gonzo-ness.
I,
Gonzo factor.
I reckon what's going to happen is that if you just leave it to the 1, I was just going to drop this straight away. I reckon you got to give it at least 2. Because I reckon this first one is going to give you just all information, nothing really to blow your skirt up, and then maybe following episodes will actually help with that.
The followed episodes will be at the behest of the intrigue on
Behest?
the final 5 minutes of the fucking what's his face of that first episode. If it doesn't hook me with that, because I'm already feeling Richard Madden. Pause. Priyanka Chopra, yes, but she hasn't sold me on her acting or whatnot. Even though I watched her in like the Robert Rodriguez Netflix kids movie and also Matrix Resurrections, I need to see her like come to the party.
She was really bit player.
Yeah.
Like sexy. You know what I mean? Sexy.
Of course. But like just a
But,
bit
like-
player in those movies.
Like you can't just sell me on the sexiness.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're fired.
So we also got our trailer for Ghosted. I wasn't really feeling this. So this is the Chris Evans, Anna de Armas one. So we see like, them linking up, them having a good time, and then Chris Evans really just falling head over heels, and then finding out about Anna de Armas being a secret spy as well.
Though he
This-
wasn't head over heels. He was just simping.
What's
was
the
feeling it.
difference?
It's a big difference. Big difference.
What is the difference? I want that defined. I want
Jesus.
it clearly in writing, right?
So the difference is that what's his face? He would have done all this stuff for nothing. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have gotten a date with her or anything. But he's doing all this stuff in the hopes of getting a date, taking her to bed. But that never happened.
Again, I don't know the difference.
There's a big fucking difference there. Both parties are feeling it, not just the one.
what I got from this was that both parties were feeling it. That's why she comes in to rescue him and whatnot. It's not like they fall in love on the way, like that sort of story. It's not like the 48 hours. Know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like they were in it from the start, but then she had to leave for work, and then they kind of got into it. Either way, I'm not going to die on this hill because I'm not feeling this at all. Like for me, I've seen this and I was like, what the fuck is Chris Evans even doing with his career? What's the trajectory? What's he aiming for? This is what he gave up Captain America for? This is what he said, no, I don't think I'll come back to the Marvel Universe for? Because I'll watch him in another Cap movie.
He'll be back.
I'll watch that, but I won't watch this.
He has to come back. He has to come back for Secret Wars. As if
Yeah.
he's not coming back for Secret Wars. As if that's not the worst kept secret in the world.
The worst kept secret
So's
was.
RDJ.
Of course, RDJ is back.
Yeah. Well, like, if we're going off on this tangent, what would be good if it was Hydra Captain America that Chris Evans is coming back as for Secret Wars, and he has to fight Falcon and fucking Bucky. That's what I would like.
I want to see the like an old man rock up in the suit.
Jesus.
But then you realize that it's not that Steve. It's the one from the very first Albert Pune bloody what's his face Captain America movie that came out.
Oh shit.
And he comes out.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say they were gonna like kick him into the fire, and then he was gonna come out like fucking Connor McLeod in Highlander 2.
Killing all the Avengers. I'm telling you.
Long hair and everything.
Hey, there could be only one.
That's so tough. But yeah, this is coming out. Fucking, I wasn't feeling it, if I'm being honest, but we'll see what
Is
happens.
this a streaming movie or is this movie coming out at the movies?
This is straight
Streaming.
Apple.
Yeah.
All right.
Apple April 28th release or April 18th release. I don't know, but Apple is fucking playing themselves. If they think they can just green light and put a buck or two like in front of this shit, I don't need it. Netflix does this. Every other streamer does it. Apple, do better. You're already like, putting out great content.
You know what saves this for me? If they just say, "Oh yeah, it's R-rated,"
Mate,
it changes
Why?
the whole game
it does.
because it's an Apple movie, and Apple's not scared of putting out R-rated fare.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
they're not.
It changes the whole
It's
game.
true.
But
It does.
I want to
If
hear
it comes out,
swearing.
it's
I
R.
want to see violence. I want to see sex. I want to see all that shit.
I was just like, see that Anna Jarvis is in blonde and what the sex scenes like that.
what do you call it?
Not even. It's that other movie with Keanu.
Yeah.
I was gonna say knocked up.
Yeah,
Knock at the door.
knock.
yeah.
Knock at the door. You must kill one of us with sex.
Please. But no. What do you some more Apple fare for you. We got the trailer for Silo. This is the new Rebecca Ferguson flick as well. This looks interesting. So this is the whole post-apocalyptic world. Everything's ruined on the surface, and now they all live in that underground silo. This looks fucking crazy. But it looks like they're sharing responsibilities and all this shit as well. Rebecca Ferguson working the coal on that fucking burner. This looks crazy.
This is Snowpiercer, but in a silo.
Yeah,
Silo Pierce.
Except everyone's last carriage.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it seems like.
This is essentially the like how they used to live in the Caucasus Mountains back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's where all the
They
Caucasians
were
were.
scared to. They supposedly they were scared to go outside, so that's why they stayed inside the mountains.
And
So
the
many people
melanin
that
did not
left.
develop.
Yeah,
Develop a melanin. But no, this looks all right, man. Another Apple fare. I'm excited to see this.
Same. I'll give this 3. See
Yeah.
what I mean? That's that quality, right?
is this
Like
a
Apple.
movie?
No,
No, this is a
serious.
show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Is it limited or is it just straight series?
Hopefully it's
So from everything I'm seeing, it says TV series because I was looking at this before on IMDb.
Because it seems like there's a lot of mystery there. You know, when those like at the end of the show is going to be like, actually everyone's all right and we can leave the silo. but then
Yeah.
it's not all right.
Yeah,
then
it'll
we
probably end. You see
Everyone radiation poisoning.
Big Total Recalls.
Bad.
But then Rebecca Ferguson knew, and she was wearing like the suit and everything.
But what if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, if you commit a crime, you get exiled to the surface where you will die. That's your death penalty. But then, like, you know, this plays out the whole story of, hey, the surface has actually been fine this whole fucking time. All those people have been exiled, got their own community now, and now they're going to wage war with the underground silo. That's the second season. It writes
Bad.
itself, goddammit.
It does actually.
Bad.
God. And our final trailer, we got To Catch a Killer. This looks interesting enough, but I was getting very like 21 Bridges vibes with how it was sort of like playing out as well.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, like Ben Mendelsohn always like sells shit for me. It's the voice with that guy, and I'm always there for it. Like even with that Killing Them Softly, I watched it strictly for Pitt and Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
And all Ben Mendelsohn did was get high.
He's doing a bit of a lisp in this one.
Yeah,
He's got like a little bit of the almost New York Boston sort of flavor, but he's kind of talking. he's got a little bit of the he's got the Batmans. I was gonna say he's got a bit of the Brandos on him, but yeah.
But
Brando did have a lisp on him.
He did. I thought it was just a cotton.
No. He did. In real life, he actually did. What's his face? For me, like it all comes crumbling down as soon as I hear him say, "Can we get some girls in here?" In TDKR, I was just like, no.
But is it Shailene Woodley?
Yes.
I can't remember where I've seen her from, if I'm being honest.
Insurgent, Divergent.
Yeah.
All those movies and Miles Teller.
Right.
She was going to be Mary Jane Watson in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans as well, but then they shit canned her. But she shot her footage. Yeah.
But I was
think
going to
she's
say
in other stuff.
Yeah.
She's a good actor, though.
I was going to say, like, she looked like she was holding her own pretty well in the trailers as well, because it looks like she's got to go through that fucking emotional transformation, because they talk about the demons of her past and all that shit with the FBI, and like when they're like running up her file with Ben Mendelsohn as well.
This really does just sound like Silence of the Lambs.
Does.
Yeah.
Like I heard that whole what's his face speech in there. Someone loved him. Someone took care of him. Fed him,
Yeah.
Gave him a nice warm. Yeah. Okay, let's see what you're doing.
Sorry. Yeah. As soon as I said Silence of the Lambs, for some reason I went straight to The Edge. Do you know how to make fire from ice? But those were all our trailers. Now moving on to our casting. So Clancy Brown is joining the Penguin show.
Oh man.
So from the reports, he's actually going to play Salvatore Maroni.
I've just never heard Clancy Brown do like a gangster accent. You know what I mean? Like he's always been that stoic voice.
Yeah.
I've never heard like it's Salvatore Maroni. You know what I mean? So this is gonna be fun for me.
Where's the bechamel?
The gravy tonight, Toad.
You think he's gonna play it like that?
I don't know. Wait,
I don't know.
Even with what's his name from friggin', I want to say Hank Azaria, but that's not it. The thingy in the Batman that dies. He was the other gangster that was for the Protect Gotham shit.
Well, Turturro.
Yeah, he didn't play it very gangstery, so I wouldn't be surprised if Clancy Brown just has his natural stoicism about this role.
Because nice though, it's a nice contrast because I mean, we get to see Clancy Brown in prison.
Yeah,
we didn't get to see him. You get to see him in prison again, I should say. Sorry, because I mean, he was a warden last time, so this time he gets to be the prisoner.
Yeah,
yeah, should be good though.
Someone will sing him a lullaby.
But on top of that, so with Clancy Brown joining, the Penguin has officially begun filming as well. And we got a few set photos. It was just some stuff about showing off his car and what like Colin Farrell looks like. It looks very much the same, like the Batman as well. And we also got to see Falcone's daughter, bits and pieces as well. But it looks like it's all coming together. Considering this is all going to be during that flood at the end of the Batman as well.
Mm.
Going to see how all this is playing up to. But no, that one is a good. Now, we were talking about Wind River, the sequel, a few weeks back, and we've just got word that Clint Eastwood as well as Jason Clarke are actually going to be starring in here as well. They haven't given us a rundown of who their characters are going to be, but hopefully, Clint Eastwood is maybe the old tracker as well to go with the new tracker or something.
I thought it was Scott Eastwood.
Is it Scott?
If I think it was Scott Eastwood, but because of the Eastwood name,
yeah,
I'd be much more excited if Clint was in the movie than Scott.
Get off my mountain.
There's only snow for me. I can't do a Clint Eastwood.
No, that's my mistake. Scott Eastwood, yeah. So Scott Eastwood is in this one with Jason Clarke. But yeah, no roles just yet, but hopefully we get to see something soon.
This has villain to me.
There, JJ, did you want to go after work to get a Czechoslovakian beer?
But that's all our casting.
Nice. I wasn't excited for Wind River, the next chapter, which I think is the worst fucking title ever.
Yeah.
The only time that actually works is when it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Until I realized that Martin Sandsmeyer, who you sent through as like who should be the next Wolverine, I also watched him. He was in the remake of Magnificent Seven.
Yes.
And he played the Mohawk guy.
Yeah, the Native American.
Yeah. And he fucking killed it in there. He sold it.
Yeah, he's a machine. He'd be great as Wolverine. He's got that look. He looks like he could be a good guy. He looks like an anti-hero.
He does.
Yeah.
He really, really does. All right. Moving on to On the Radar. So, first up, we got Jonathan Majors, who coming off an incredible run there with Creed and Ant-Man Quantumania, is looking to star in The Understudy. So, very, very vague synopsis on this one. So, this one is about the story of life imitating art when the understudy of a Broadway production finds a role he's willing to kill for. So, I'm thinking talented Mr. Ripley style, like serial killing going on here.
Smoochie.
Yeah.
What's that? Birdman sort of vibes.
Yeah. So what was kind of hinted at in the article itself was that Spike Lee may be circling this as well.
Yeah.
Spike Lee, no stranger at all to the whodunit making Inside Man. So I think he could do something really, really interesting with this. So I'm excited for it, man. All right, now moving on to the Zorro series with Wilmer Valderrama. So it looks like Brian Cogman, coming off of Game of Thrones, is going to be the showrunner for this, which makes me more excited because it seems like they're wanting to do something a little bit deeper with the show, which I like because they're going to go into like Mexican culture a bit more. So the series is expected to feature an epic adventure rooted in California's rich and diverse history, bursting with humor, sinister intrigue, romantic entanglements. Ooh, Jade is going to watch this shit. And swashbuckling thrills. So it follows privileged caballero Diego de la Vega, who returns to his hometown of El Pueblo de Los Angeles following a family tragedy. There he discovers a culture of corruption and injustice that will lead him to take on the mantle of the masked vigilante Zorro, America's first true superhero, which kind of has like, it's the Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
Batman.
He's privileged.
Yeah.
And Zorro plays such a big part in the creation of Batman himself. Yeah. I mean, if they can do it nice, because Wilder Valderrama is like, he has the look now.
Bit short, but still.
Yeah.
He is a bit short, but
You
if
have to wait
Zorro wore
for-
platforms, you know what I mean?
Yes.
He could mask his shortness a little
He's
bit.
always on
We'll
that
see.
fucking
True.
horse as well.
Yeah.
He's always flipping.
Why was he always flipping in those movies?
I never liked that. I thought that was such a unless he was in the circus. If he was in the circus, then I'd believe it. You know what I mean? That's why I believe
Why?
Dick Grayson, like Robin and shit.
100%.
Yeah.
Why did Anthony Hopkins have that thing set up? The acrobatic, whatever that was, test.
Yeah.
He
Like,
didn't use it
Yeah.
once in the fights.
was Zorro, was he training? Like, was that his thing? Or did he literally think, like, you know what, maybe I will recruit another Zorro one day when I get lazy. So I'm going to set all this up just for them.
I was going to leave this to my kids to, fight and die, but you know what? I'll get somebody else.
Let's get ourselves a guinea pig. Antonio!
He's not just anyone, he's Zorro.
It's not the mob. It's Zorro. That makes no sense, sir. So is this going to be set like in like the 30s and
I don't know, because remember at one point there was a modern day take on it, and then there
Yeah,
was a.
that's
So I don't
fine.
know which way they're kind of leaning. I wouldn't mind a modern day take, but it would be
Zorro?
It would be very Batman.
Extremely. That's what I'm saying. Because the towns as well, El Pueblo, does sound very old because that's just called Pueblo now.
Yeah, that's true. And then
Yeah.
that sounds very close to LA. Is that
Which is in
the border town?
Califa, yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't-
The original, honestly, like we used to watch the original Zorro. It used to come on before what's his face? What's it called?
My Three Sons.
No. It used to come on before Power Rangers. Zorro used to play before Power Rangers. So we would catch
Oh.
like a little 5 minutes of Zorro before. And the old Zorro was all right, man.
It's the cowboy area. Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get into you get a different adventure every episode. It's fire.
That was cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. So moving on to our news and developments. So one of the biggest piece of news that we got this week is that John Bernthal is coming back to the MCU. He is going to play the Punisher in the new Daredevil show.
Yeah.
What's it called again? Born Again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that maybe they just say this is releasing on Star and we just get like a full-on R-rated Daredevil. I doubt it.
God, I hope so.
Daredevil and Punisher. Because Bernthal did say that he would only come back if they could do that character just like they did it the first time.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. See how they go. See how far they can push it.
Yeah.
The Batman Part 2. I don't mind that what's his face. That title. It's nice there. All right, so they're gonna begin they're gonna begin filming November 23rd. Shazam 2. Don't leave the cinemas after that first what's his face title credit post credits. There's 2. All right, so you got to wait until the end of the movie. Check that out. We'll tell you what that is next week. Spaghettis. All right, so Feige's Star Wars movie that he was set up there over at Lucasfilm, ready to go, not happening anymore. Yeah.
Neither's Patty Jenkins.
Rogue Squadron's not happening anymore either.
Dead.
In the water.
This is dumb. It's the stuff outside of the box for Star Wars that works.
Yeah.
And they're not realizing it. Like Mando works because it's outside of the box. There's no force in this show besides what's his face Grogu using a little bit of it. They have one connection to the original Star Wars trilogy, and that's it. I most don't get it. Sam Raimi is supposedly shopping around a something about him wanting to get Drag Me to Hell. It's not a script.
No, his team is developing the
His team is
script.
developing, a
Story.
script to Drag Me to Hell too. So the Drag Me to Hell came out when? Like 15 years ago now?
2009, yeah.
Like it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Time to do a sequel.
It's not Avatar.
No. This isn't Avatar. It's a long time to wait for a sequel as well.
But I wonder how this is going to work as well. Because the original was pretty closed off. So I don't know where it's going to go.
It was an end to end. It's not like that old lady's going to die again.
Yeah. That's true. The
Can't
problem,
get cursed again.
unless it's
Maybe
a family
Benjamin
member.
Button finds it.
That's wild. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see what they're gonna do. To be honest, just to see if they change it up a little bit. Maybe it's a new sort of curse. Maybe it's a different people. Maybe it's voodoo this time.
Yeah.
Different. We don't know. Because I'm pretty sure that monster at the end, what's it called? It's not the
Lamia?
Dahaka. That's what's his face.
Lamia?
Yeah, that would be universal, right?
Yeah.
So that in theory could still come get them at the end.
Fucking oath. And I mean,
regardless of which sort of curse is put on her.
That'd be fucking mad. This one was quick with that Lamia.
I was thinking about it the other day. I've been having Drag Me to Hell vibes, dog. See my eyes just go red, and then you just see the shadow crawling up my wall.
Jesus.
Mate, why would you say shit like that? This is not going to sleep tonight.
Me neither. Hold me.
FaceTime me until dawn.
Paint me like one of your English. So that's going to be developed by Ghost House Pictures. There, what's his face always going to get their money. So MI7. So MI7 supposedly had a test screening. I don't know how you can prove any of this, but supposedly it's the best thing in the world. So it's always been the studio ploy that they put out the test screening and it's the best movie in the world. But supposedly for this one, it's true.
Yeah.
They said that MI7, the first part of it was amazing. They said it is still too long. They will make some cuts to it. But in the current form, audiences are absolutely loving it.
That's wild. It's funny how the executive was like, Tom Cruise, he's great.
He's got my job. They better be kissing Tom Cruise's ass.
You know how many people Tom Cruise is going to bring into the cinema for this movie and next year with part 2 as well?
Fucking oath. I'll be
All
there.
the promotion he's already done. Motherfuckers is lining up for these tickets.
Yeah.
And I am at the front.
I will smoketh it.
All right. So Chad Stahelski's come out just recently. John Wick 4 comes out in the next 2 weeks over here. We will be there. What's his face? And people already started to talk about John Wick 5. Now, Stahelski said, nothing's sort of set in stone yet about him actually, committing to that 5th film. We do know that he's got about 30 films that he's supposed to direct right now.
At least,
or produce, one of the two. So he said somewhere, maybe somebody will do it. I'm always saying, this is my last one. This will never happen again. And I'll say that now. This is my last one. Every time I come back to a Wick, there's been 2 or 3 years in between. That's a lot of time for a human. You know how many pieces of art or music or museums or locations I've gone to in 3 years? Huge. I mean, think of what you do in a year, what you do in 3. What would you do in 3? Don't you think all of that would influence you? I just think I'd be very good jumping right into something. I just, yeah. So it looks like he's a bit tired.
Yeah.
He needs a little break. Needs a little R&R. Needs to stop making bloody movies and take a break.
Well, it's funny as well with this guy. In an interview he had, he was like, every time I've done a John Wick movie, I've always been like, this is the only one, this is the last one. And then whenever they finish up filming, him and Keanu will go to some like hotel where they'll like drink whiskey in Japan, and they'll sit there and like, yeah, you know, that was good, direction was fine. Then he's just like, I've got an idea for the next one. And then they start working on that.
That's crazy. I don't like the idea of anyone else taking on the role of director for a John Wick film. That should purely be Chad Stahelski's thing.
What if it's
I
that
wasn't-
guy from the first one?
I know who the brains was behind that now. Watching the trajectory of those two filmmakers, they make very different pictures.
Yeah, it's true.
Like both good, but one needs the other if they're going to do it together. And maybe that's how they
Yeah.
share the load, pause. But like I don't like the idea of Len Wiseman trying it out with Ballerina and then them going, "Hey, Len Wiseman, let's pair you up with Shay Hatton," who like Shay Hatton to me just makes like, yeah. And like let's see you go. And then Keanu Reeves is like, well, I just did it because I love the character. And it's John not being John anymore.
Yeah.
We've seen Len Wiseman do that to another John, and he fucked it all up.
Which John?
John McClane.
Mate. He did the third one. No, he did the
When-
fourth one.
Yeah, Live Free and Die Hard.
Still all right.
Or Die Hard.
Die Hard 4.
That was not John. That was not John McClane.
Yeah, but the movie was still all right. It was still a great action movie.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna lie.
Compared to 5?
5 was just
Don't tell
a
me that
garbage
5 is
fire.
better.
Oh.
I'll leave this conversation right now.
Pretty cool. 5 was horrible. I never even watched 5. I saw the trailers and I was like, no, thank you.
I go back from time to time, maybe give it a little watch there.
I'm a completionist. You
Yeah.
know, I got to finish, collect the whole
Mate,
set.
I've even with the Fast and the Furious movies, I watch up to 5, and then it's almost like I've just erased everything else after that. I'm like, yes, this is where my movies end.
All right, so it seems like this last season of Ted Lasso might just be the series finale. So stars have been talking about it and whatnot, and from what they're saying, this could be it.
Yeah, it's sad, but they'd be going out on a high.
Extreme high. They just won all the awards this year.
Yeah.
You'd expect them to Game of Thrones this shit and at least do 7.
Yeah.
What's the
Maybe
name?
Maybe Apple's only doing 3. Maybe
True.
that's their magic number.
Yeah, maybe it is.
What do you call it? What was the lady's name who owns the club? But
It's Rebecca.
Rebecca, yeah.
from what she was saying, like she had very choice words on how she was saying the series is going to end as well. So I was like, could there be like a spin-off? Not about her specifically, but like the way she addressed it was very interesting to me.
Yeah. That Hannah Waddingham. Anyways, get me started on my old woman fetish.
Jesus.
Kate Blanchett on this one.
All right, so
I
Corey
think-
Barlog has come out recently. And so, as you know, The Last of Us is absolutely smashing it right now.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, he's a little shook. He is a little
Does.
shook. So Corey is actually, surprisingly and thankfully working on the God of War TV series right now. They actually brought them in, just like Druckmann got brought in for Last of Us.
Mhm.
Smart.
And yeah, the smartest move that studio made. And he's feeling a little pressure. He said that it's a small. He feels like a small bit of pressure to actually execute God of War, much like The Last of Us, because of The Last of Us success. Like he's feeling it. So I'm hoping, it usually that pressure breeds, like pressure makes diamonds, man. So I'm hoping that this is just next level.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping who's got this one, Amazon's got this. I'm hoping they throw Lord of the Rings money at this and just make it as good as it can be. Like we need this up there with what's his face. And your casting needs to be on point, much like The Last of Us is.
Yeah.
You can't have dogs playing these characters.
That's right.
I'd be fine with the kid who voices Atreus to play Atreus in the show.
Yeah.
He's a bit too old now. That's why they changed him in the second game. He was supposed to still be a young kid.
Yeah. They could probably still make it work, though. Look at Ralph Macchio.
Still, LaRusso's still 14 in Cobra Kai.
32 in that movie.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, man, I'm hoping this is really, really good. Like they have After Last of Us ends, which is going to be the biggest ending ever.
Yeah.
Like people who haven't played the game is going to lose their fucking minds next week.
Yeah.
Fucking
if it's the same.
If it's the same. That's right.
I don't want March 13th to come around. I just don't want the show to end.
I do. There's some good shows coming out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of show. And it's Shazam. Let's see what they hit for.
Shazam and Lasso on the same day.
And Lasso.
Shazam.
All right. And the last piece of news and development is Hulu has dropped The Devil in the White City. So this was the serial killer movie. Keanu was going to be in there at one stage. So they've dropped it. They're not doing it anymore. Who was it? ABC Entertainment? Is it ABC or NBC?
NBC.
NBC Entertainment said that they're still going to pursue other people who will want to sort of snatch us up. I can see this landing over there at Apple. Maybe do a nice little limited series, and we can finally get Scorsese and DiCaprio on board.
Yeah.
To make this little Betty.
Fuck yeah. Is this not giving you Disney is selling Hulu vibes?
Yeah. That's on the cards.
1000%.
If you got a service like Star, you might as well just roll it out to everyone. Drop everything there. I'd love to see more Hulu stuff drop on what's his face.
Fuck yeah, dude. That'd be so good. All those Hulu originals, just give it to us there. Pause.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they're making any more originals. They are done.
Yeah.
Seems like one of their last not big originals was MODOK with Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
And like that, like Dope Sick as well.
Dope Sick,
and I didn't see a renewal for any of those.
Yeah.
Dope Sick was limited.
Ah, okay. That's probably why. Maybe that's why they increased the limiteds and then didn't have the ongoings.
What was Prey considered a Hulu movie or a 20th Century?
20th Century.
My man.
Thankfully. It's a Hulu original, I'm pretty sure. They ripping that branding straight off as soon as they can.
See them with just etching it off like the fucking the glass pane. That's it for all of our news and developments.
So let's jump into our thoughts there.
Yeah.
Last of Us, episode
8.
Fuck.
Lived up.
It was a great episode.
Yeah.
Really lived up to. This was scene for scene from the game.
Yeah. Plus, they added more. They added the whole intro to that. It's a lot more. Her injecting him and treating him and like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I liked it, man. This episode, like, it introduced this like the whole point of the episode was that Joel now had to reciprocate and prove that he loved her.
Yeah.
And he really had the stakes because she proved it unbeknownst to him by taking care of him.
That's right.
And this episode introduced things like paternity, religion, and twisted them. And it was like the society that they live in now is not like governed by God.
No.
Know what I mean? And those that sort of say that they are about that and they're your father and all that, like they're twisted as well.
Mm.
They're using that to get to you. But underneath, like everyone is violent and savage and will use that to survive.
Yeah.
Everyone's a predator, man.
Yeah, and it makes the connection to the cordyceps that they do that, like connect and kind of do these things through violence, and so do humans.
Yeah.
So they go so well together.
Mm.
And the way they depicted David was really, really good, adding that layer of religion to him.
Yeah.
Was good. And then him taking up the mantle of father and Ellie seeing straight through that. It was almost like she wanted to say, I already have a father.
Yeah.
And his name is Joel. But on Joel's end, it was almost like this heartbreaking kind of experience where he's reliving Sarah dying.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that fear of, and then him connecting with Ellie again. He even calls her baby girl.
Yeah.
Know what I
I
mean?
nearly cried.
And for him to kind of, at that point, because she had already taken care of it. At that point, Ellie, you find out that Ellie is not this incapable little girl. She's
not a baby
scheming.
girl.
Yeah. She's scheming. She is strategic and she's capable of a lot more. And that includes violence. You know what I mean? That was up close and personal violence that she was able to unload on David. And at that point, Joel didn't need to save anyone. He's been the protector this whole show. At this point, he needed to be like the sort of the blanket. And it was so telling when he hands her the coat. He's like basically saying, I'm taking care of you now.
Yeah. You're under my wing now.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. It went too quick. Went way too quick. And I was charging my phone as well. And then I was like, this is not enough time to charge my phone. And I looked, it was fully charged. I was like, fuck. The pacing on this shit is unbelievable. But
It was 58 minutes this episode, and it flew.
Yeah.
It was blink and you'll miss it. You know what I love though? I love that the fact that Joel had to use violence as well to get what he needed. And just the way that he did it. Still no Nolan North. We got a nice little what's his face? What's his name?
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. We got a nice little Troy Baker in there.
Isn't it funny that he got it in the voice box pause?
Fucking oath.
Little throwback there, mate.
Take it.
Yeah. I think overall this episode was just fucking unbelievable, to be honest. Like looking at it scene for scene across from the game blew me away. Like it was, I don't want to sound corny and shit, but that shit can leave you speechless as well with this episode. Like you have these big pieces of like the game where they almost tent pole your series. Like we've got episode 3 pause and fucking I don't know what I said, and then episode 8. Everything else in between is still great, but then you have these like spectacular moments that just take this to the next level. It's so good.
Like it pushes the characters forward.
Yeah, because sorry, dog, you go.
No, go.
I was gonna say you really start to see these arcs like come to an end with this season as well. Like from seeing Ellie watching Joel in the first episode use violence to get away from that Fedra guard, kill him, after him having those like numb flashbacks, to her having to do almost the same with David now. In order to be safe, she had to like, take things into her own hands.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So good.
I love that they know when to sort of like, hold back. We just hold them back just a little bit. They know when to put their foot on the gas. They've got it down to a T. Like Mason just gets it.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
first person I've seen just get it with the bloody video game property and understand that okay, it's a completely different medium. Like you don't have people sitting in front of a TV playing this stuff or a monitor. Like they need to actually watch it. They need to experience it differently. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I just can't believe this is ending next week.
Yeah.
No.
We have essentially 4 days and this is done. Like it's done.
Yeah. But
Wild.
I'm glad because at the same time, I will sit down and watch this again.
Oh man, I'm waiting now.
100%.
I told you.
Yeah.
Have that gift card in the tuck, my friend. That 4K is getting bought quick.
Expeditiously.
Wow. Ugh. We got our second episode for episode, what is it? 18, they're calling it.
Yeah, chapter 18.
Chapter 18, yeah.
For Mando. Man, this was good.
Yeah.
Like this was the
It was.
redemption episode for me.
It was.
Like, that first episode was a little bit of a fucking drag. But then like this episode, there was just so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
Actually went to Mandalore. They were like, in the mines. They were everywhere. It was great.
Yeah.
It was all situated on one planet, which is like those are the episodes that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when in that first season when he's in Tatooine and he has to go to what's his face? Those outskirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This it did something really cool by the end of this episode. It showed you the direction of what they're trying to do with Din Djarin this season. Is test his faith.
Yeah.
That purify yourself in the water, in the mines of Mandalore and all that shit.
Lakes a Minotaur.
I was about to say.
He's like it's intended to kill him.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to survive that.
No.
At all. So for him to kind of go there and for the forger to kind of say, hey, double down and go, yeah, you need to go there. She was either trying to save him by saying that Mandalore was poisoned, or she knows very well that he's going to die, which puts in doubt everything that he kind of knows. And this is where like characters can really kind of they become interesting. It's because everything is kind of tested. I love that you've seen that mythosaur.
Yeah.
That was like scary and cool at the same time.
Yeah.
And the legend that kind of like preceded it, where the great Mandalore the Great tamed the mythosaur.
Yeah.
Which kind of gives me Taruk Makto vibes from Avatar. Because I kind of feel he's going to go back and he's going to use that dragon. I practice 3 hours a day with that dragon. He's going to use that dragon to overcome something on Mandalore.
It's too hot. It's too hot. You do anything about that heat? Rick. It's flamethrower.
Yeah. But I think with this episode, with that occurring, it helps to put things into perspective with Bo-Katan as well. And really aligns you with why she is how she is as well. And instead of following the creed and you have to win the Darksaber by battle, she was given the Darksaber as a gift and shit like that. So it's like the change in culture for her. She's the neophytes, whereas like these old guys running the creed are the prophytes and shit like that.
So changing the guards now, man.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They are basically setting up a new king of Mandalore. and she's either going to fall in line or she's going to what's his face. She's going to have to fall by the sword,
Yeah.
the pork sword.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I liked it. It went very, very quick again.
Mm.
Yeah.
But the effects were on point. I didn't feel like we were got sort of swamp assed with the what's his face? What's that room called? 3D room? The volume.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were sort of immersed in that. It didn't feel like that.
There was one scene in there where we were. You could see it. You could see it badly.
Which one was that? Which scene was it?
It was just him. It was a shot of just him. It was only him in the scene, and the rest of it he looked out of place in the scene. Like there was an outline around him that looked funny.
Mm.
Okay, that's weird.
It just wasn't lit properly.
But overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the shit out of this episode. Yeah. All right. And it takes us to our last little review there, Champions. So massive thanks to Universal Pictures for inviting us to a preview screening last week to go see Champions. I know people have put up a lot of thoughts and whatnot, a lot of love for this movie at the moment. I will say, on my part, I didn't enjoy the movie, but I also understand that it wasn't made for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for the whole movie, watching it, I didn't have any like many laugh out loud moments. There was one, and it was about like a threesome or whatnot. But then when I heard the commotion and laughter in the cinema, and then afterwards, I'd find out that basically the cinema was Universal had invited a lot of intellectually disabled kids and adults and whatnot to the screening, and their response was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was big.
And what I enjoyed about the movie, because I'm not gonna sort of say I didn't like it, but then not give you something I did like. I liked that this movie depicted the disabled as adults.
Yeah.
And what kind of happens when that parental figure's gone, and you know what I mean? Because you kind of like think who's going to take care of them, and they are capable of so much more than we kind of give them credit for. A lot of the times we're kind of like where we just don't know. You know what I mean? Because there's not the content out there.
Yeah, you feel like they have to be coddled. They
That's
have
right.
to be taken care of.
Yeah.
But they don't.
And and there's an element of fear there, because you're sort of like, well, if no one takes care of them, they're going to be out on the street and they're going to do this and whatnot. But this movie showcases them in group homes, like, you know, still living with parents, but wanting independence and whatnot. So I actually really, really appreciated that. I mean, Woody Harrelson, you know, pretty good. That chick from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I mean, like all that was a lot of fluff and whatnot. I think what they really wanted to showcase was that these disabled kids are actually quite independent and capable. And I did like that in the movie. I mean, yeah, it was a redemption arc and whatnot. Doesn't know the plot of the movie. It's about Woody Harrelson coaching, like, you know, a kind of semi-pro basketball team. Sorry, co-coaching. And then he gets into a DUI, and the judge sentences him to 90 days community service to coach a homegrown, intellectually disabled basketball team. To which point, there's like, you know, the duck out of water story where he's got to find his groove again, and find out that it's not the plays that work on the court, it's knowing the players, and that's where he gets sucked in. There's some points where I thought this was going to be like a more adult movie. There's some points where it plays very, very kiddie. Like less kiddie than, more kiddie jokes than like a Mighty Ducks film.
Yeah.
Whereas this kind of like there's one bit where the guy's like fist me when he like something goes wrong, and I was like, is that like you know what I mean?
Is this
I don't.
appropriate? Like, what
Yeah,
is
yeah,
I know this is a Farrelly Brothers movie, or at least a Farrelly brother movie, but still.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the movie either. Like you said, I don't think it was for us. It's not our movie.
Yeah.
I do like the themes of like it's more us holding them back. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I enjoyed that they showed. I like that it didn't sort of go into like those crazy tropes that they had back in the day.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm glad they sort of stayed away from all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think there, big baller Triz?
No, I didn't mind it, like watching it, but it's very much the same comments as both yours before as well. Pretty much on the same plot there.
Yeah, nice. Very good. We're having quite the run of it. The old Smoke and Mirrors pod there. I was quite pleased. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that smugly. Like it's amazing how like things progress and kind of change and whatnot. And I'm actually really proud of a thing that we got going on. But yeah, next week, I mean, we got Shazam. The week after, we got John Wick. It's just everything we kind of hoped for. It's everything I dreamed.
I think the coolest thing about that too is that this isn't the end. This is just all milestones in an ongoing thing as well, which is amazing. Like it's all uphill from here, man.
Yeah. But they're downhill when we start making the chat.
Yeah, man. We climbing Everest right now.
Yeah.
No oxygen.
Oh, I was want to go big dick energy on the Everest climb.
Fat dick spirit.
We base diving off Everest after. I'm not climbing down that fucker a second. Why does no one do that? Why does no one trek up to Everest and then base jump off that bitch?
I would think it was the extra equipment that they carry.
What the chute? The chute weighs nothing. You got the Sherpas carrying everything else. Poor bastards.
That's wild.
What do you call it?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you don't get like, the certificate or whatnot if you don't climb that motherfucker down again.
Maybe.
All the winds around Everest will just blow you straight into the mountains, pause.
So I was thinking heritage listing or the winds, so like violent temperature changes or something like that. Or it could be that Everest, like it comes down like a thick cone, pause. So even if you do base jump and you're like, you just land on another level of Everest and you got to do it again.
But that would be sick, like the close. Yeah. There's some O's is like real close to that mountain.
The wingsuit. The wingsuit.
Yeah. That's where I can do that in Far Cry 3.
I think so.
Damn it.
All right.
About it. Yeah.
But yeah, that is a wrap on all the news and reviews. For now, we will be back on Sunday with our thoughts on Shrinking.
Yeah.
Anything else that's dropping this week?
No.
Nothing on streaming this week.
No.
I think we need to check out that consultant, and I'll probably watch Bel Air.
Yeah. Till is dropping this week for anyone that wants to check that out in Australia. Scream 6 is also out.
Yes, Scream 6 is out.
Which some of the guys went to a preview screening of the other night. I was just jealous, but you know what I mean. Can't win all the time. Yeah. Love yourself. Love movies.
Vape more, smoke less, shower every once in a while.